Soccer Gurus here. I'm Corey. This is Kevin. So Ray is in Albania right now. He's going to be in Albania for a month. Kevin's here, obviously. We're going to talk about Champions League. So the Champions League the first week of first match day one was a couple of days ago. For the Champions League this year, we're going to focus on three teams: Real Madrid, Chelsea, and Juventus, as you can see from our banners here. So we're going to focus on them throughout all of Champions League, so hopefully they go pretty far. So Chelsea played Valencia this week, Real Madrid played PSG, and then Juventus played Atletico. So we're going to go into all of those games, talk about them, give our take on them, and then talk about kind of what the rest of the Champions League looks like for each team going forward. So we'll start off with Chelsea of Valencia. Disappointing for Chelsea, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a disappointing game for Chelsea, man, because they won 5-2 against Wolves.
Yeah,
just like last weekend.
They smoked Wolves.
Yeah, 5-2.
And then
Abraham scored two beautiful goals in that game, and you expected them. Okay, Chelsea finally is going to gain some momentum. They're at home against Valencia. It's their first Champions League game. Definitely gonna win.
Yeah, and then
what happens?
They lose 1-0 to Valencia. So they were away, but no, they were home.
Yeah, Chelsea was at home. That's a disappointing part. I mean, you're home. You just won a game in Wolves.
We'll edit that part out.
But so you expected them to win and gain some momentum, especially for the next game against Liverpool. But no, they ended up losing.
Yeah. So Willian missed a chance earlier in the game. Mason Mount went down early in the game in the first half. They had to make an early substitution. So I think that changed some things up for Lampard. I think it's my hope at least that Pulisic was in his plans to at least come into the game. So maybe that's why he didn't show up, was because he had to make that early substitution. Let's see what else. Pedro came into the game. Rodrigo ended up scoring in the 74th minute for Valencia. He's a Spanish international. Been around for a while. Good player.
Great goal overall.
Yeah, good goal. Ross Barkley got a chance late on. PK missed it. There was a little bit of questions on why Barkley took that PK. Why not Willian? Why not Jorginho? Why not Abrams? They were all on the field. After the game, Lampard kind of came out and said, look, Barkley, all through preseason, was taking our PKs. He was our best PK taker all through preseason. He takes them in practice. When Ross Barkley's on the pitch, Ross Barkley's going to take the PKs. And
it makes you question if the pressure got to him. So going forward, it would be interesting to see what Lampard decides to do, whether he wants to have somebody else take the PKs now.
Yeah, and you mentioned to me earlier when we were watching the game, it's hard for a player to, when they come in as a sub, to come in and take a PK like that. So and Barkley came in as a sub, and it adds more pressure. So who's to say that had anything to do with it or not? These guys are professionals. That was a good chance and a big game to get a point. They didn't get the point, so it's disappointing to say the least. But
also I would say it's very disappointing not to see Pulisic playing. I mean, it's been 2 games since he hasn't started or seen any minutes. Maybe I'm gonna say that because he went to America for the international break, that Lampard is giving him some rest. But I would really hope that against Liverpool, he starts. If he doesn't start, at least get some playing minutes. Because Pulisic is a young player. He needs playing time. Definitely needs it.
Yeah, and let's talk about that a little bit. So Pulisic came back from international duty from the United States. He had the longest flight, and I think he came back a little late. I can see resting him against Wolves. I was definitely disappointed to not see him in this game. It's a home game, so there was no travel. And Pulisic didn't even get in. So definitely big game coming up against Liverpool in the Premier League this weekend. I start to question things if Pulisic doesn't make an appearance in that one.
Yeah, it would definitely be an interesting game to see because Liverpool lost 2 against Napoli in the Champions League. So both teams are coming off of a loss, so it'll be a good game to see. So I'm hoping for a Chelsea win.
Yeah, me too. So moving on to Real Madrid PSG. Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, I mean 3-0 in Paris with the players that they had. I mean, PSG were missing some of their key players. Mbappe, Neymar wasn't playing.
And Cavani as well.
Cavani wasn't playing as well, and I think Madrid started with a 4-3-3. I think their lineup was good. Other than Ramos, they didn't have any other major player missing. They had Benzema up top, Hazard on the left, Bale on the right, Casemiro, Kroos, James Rodriguez. So they had they're stacked. You know, I feel like players that have a lot of experience, that can make a difference in the game, and they didn't get a single goal. Not only did they not get a goal, but they didn't get a single shot on target.
No shots on target.
Very,
10 shots altogether, nothing on target.
Very disappointing game, and and Di Maria had two goals on ex-Madrid player, which I never got over Madrid letting what a great player like Di Maria leave.
He only had the time too.
Yeah, that's what they get for letting a great player.
Right. Di Maria scored twice in the first half.
Yeah.
And then Bale had a chance that got reversed off of an accidental handball. Verratti for PSG, for me, he controlled the game, player of the game for me.
Yeah.
He was the engine of PSG, and he kind of just dominated things.
Yeah, and it makes you question how good are PSG? You know, they didn't have like we mentioned.
They didn't even have their top guys.
They didn't have their top guys, and they won against a good side. I would say, even though Madrid has had
even
issues,
when Madrid is struggling, Madrid is very good.
Right.
That's how they are. It's like the Yankees.
Yeah. So I mean, very disappointed from Madrid's point of view. But if you're a PSG fan, then what are you're excited because you have a great team that can really take it really far in the Champions League, maybe even win the Champions League. So who knows?
Yep. And so Benzema had a chance later on in the second half. Got reversed for an offside call. Vasquez was considered part of the play.
Which I think was the right call.
He got called back. So then the last goal from PSG was scored by it was built up by their fullbacks. And so PSG ended up winning that game 3-0. Moving on to Juventus Atletico Madrid, 2-2 draw on that one. That was heartbreaking to say the least. At the end, Herrera put one in the 90th minute to give Atletico the draw. So
I mean, if you look at the overall game, and if you told me, would you take a draw against Atletico Madrid in Madrid, I would say yes. But so disappointing after Juventus scored 2 goals. I was like, yes, they're gonna win in Madrid. Especially after the last game they had in Madrid, they lost 2-0. So it was a good note that they scored 2 goals, 2 beautiful goals by 2 midfielders, Matuidi and Cuadrado. Then they let in 2 goals from set pieces, which was so disappointing. I was like yelling at the screen. So they did the same thing against Napoli. They were up 3 goals and they let in 3 goals. So from that was very disappointing, but overall I still think it's a positive result, having gained 1 point in Atletico Madrid. But you definitely have to question their defense, especially if Chiellini is not playing. Is Bonucci and De Ligt enough to make the difference and really defend and make sure that they're not letting any goals, and so you have to have a lot of questions on their defense.
Yep, the defense is questionable. Chiellini is definitely the rock,
right?
In that defense, and when he's gone, it's just not the same.
Yeah, and another positive thing I would say is that Juventus has the last 4 games have had 6 different players score. So each player has had 1 goal, which I think is a positive note because they don't have to rely on Cristiano Ronaldo scoring all the goals for them. They have a lot of players that can score. They from their defense to their midfield to the forwards, and they have a lot of depth in their team. They have Dybala, so they can come in from the bench and score. They have Douglas Costa, which is another great player. So they have a lot of depth, but if they can just focus on their defense and make sure that they don't let any goals, they can maybe win the Champions League.
Yep, a lot of attacking options, and that's kind of the reason why they went and got Ronaldo, was to make that final push to get that Champions League title. So we'll see how it goes going forward. Not a terrible result for Juventus, because they got the draw away.
Yeah.
The other two teams, Chelsea and Real Madrid, they kind of have to dig themselves out of a hole a little bit.
Yeah.
So group stages. That was first match of the group stages.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But definitely need improvement out of both teams, I would say. So
absolutely.
Looking forward to the games coming up. I think it's going to be a really exciting Champions League this season. So I'm
a lot of good teams.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see it and see how it all unfolds. So today we're drinking Urban Underdog, kind of a local brewery. It's an American lager, super good. Check it out. But that's it from us, guys. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to leave a comment at the bottom and hit the red subscribe button. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.